What's going on, Corn Stars? It's your boy Zerk. I'm here with you to go over week 6 and the recap of the league. Brutal week with injuries, a lot of disappointing outcomes with some players. I've never seen a year where this many teams have been decimated by injuries. Usually there's the one team that just happens to get the voodoo or the curse or whatever, and their guys are dropping left, right, and center. And even in traditional leagues, in a regular 12-man where you've got, one flex, kicker, DST, you still see that in those type of leagues. But this year, man, I mean, there are just some brutal stuff going on. So let's jump right into it with the first game of the week. Show me your TDs, led by Jamar Chase, takes down Iceman 108-94. Disappointing game for Iceman on the side here. Emeka Buka goes out early with a hamstring injury here, only putting up like a fifth of what he was projected to grab. Lave has a great game. Christian McCaffrey continues to be fantastic. Henderson disappoints in his first game with a split backfield. Now, I will say, him and Ramonde were about 50-50 with touches and whatnot, and Henderson was actually more efficient with his touches. He just didn't get the receptions. It was a little rough here. Mason Taylor with a stinker out in London, dog. 1.2. I was dodge the donut, as the kids would say, I guess. Jamison Williams puts up 18, and that's all to really speak of over here on the Iceman side. Just kind of disappointing across the board, where the team has seen some consistency. It's one of those weeks where it consistently fucking sucked. On the other side with Rhodey here, he's kind of coming back a little bit. Started off kind of hot, went real cold, and now he's put together a couple wins here to battle back to 3-3 and put himself in 5th place. Joe Flacco seemed to have breathed some life into this team since he went to the double Bengals wide receiver stack, which I still think is odd, but is what it is. It was hard to move either of them after Burrow got hurt. So, kind of felt stuck with him here. I think this is probably the worst Davante Adams game we'll see for the rest of the year. This was just kind of an ugly game for the Rams. I think they're going to go to London and play Jacksonville this week without Puka Nacua. And I think Davante Adams is going to drop a fucking 30 on their nog. Bo Nix has been very disappointing this year, only putting up 13. Keenan Allen's kind of fallen off after starting strong. Kyron stays strong. Javonte Williams, very disappointing. Very disappointing in a game against Carolina. This is one where you thought he would blow up, and this is, I think, the worst performance he's had this year. Jamar Chase, like I said, Jamar Chase T. Higgins had some life breathed into him from Joe Flacco coming in. And that was on a short week with very little playbook knowledge for these guys. So as they continue to play together and go and do what they need to do and get their chemistry going, I think it's only going to get better as long as that O-line can keep Joe Flacco alive. I'm still afraid he's going to Damar Hamlin on the field at some point. But yeah, I mean, as far as fucks and sucks go, first team all fuck, we'll go Christian McCaffrey. We'll give it Jamison Williams. Why not? Because it'll be his first fuck of the year. Everyone's got to get it in eventually. We'll do Jamar Chase and Kyron Williams. He's my dog. I'm a Kyron Williams truther. That's it for game 1 there. Real disappointing. Both teams going 3-3. On to game 2. Another set of 3-3s now, as MC Squared takes down Drizzy Drake 167-104. Big pop from Joe this week on his wide receivers. Finally hitting, and then Devon A. Chan also putting up a solid game. Without Tyreek Hill, they're leaning on him a little bit more, I would imagine, in the pass game. He's shown that he can do it, and he's, 4 receptions is probably what he's been getting. But, when you're missing Tyreek Hill, you're trying to find anything, because it looks like Malik Washington's not the guy. Darren Waller looks great, but he's not a target hog. And I don't know. I mean, you can't throw to Jalen Waddle 18 times a game. I mean, you can, but I'm not sure how successful you'll be in doing so. Over on Amanda's side, just a brutal game like we talked about with Mason Taylor. Brutal game from the Jets. One of the worst games I think I've ever seen. I mean, they combined for less than 10 points, and Garrett Wilson gets hurt at the end of this game. Drake London, though, pops with 31, and then the rest of the team just sort of slowly dies off into obscurity until you get to the Butte at the bottom with 26 points here. Still would have beat Iceman, though, with fucking 7 guys putting up single digits. So it was a rough game, but it's positive on some of the guys that you wanted to see here. You know, London continues to do his thing. Not terrible from ETN in a bad game against Seattle. I'll take 9.5. Chase Brown still doesn't meet his projection, but it's encouraging to see him still get a little bit closer to that gap closing in. Just kind of let you know that Flacco being there is helping out a little bit. Really not a lot of checkdowns. His usage really didn't change too much here. As far as receptions go, I expect that to go up a little bit, but we'll see going forward. I don't know what you're going to do to replace Garrett Wilson. I mean, I don't think Booty's going to be a consistent 26-point guy. Jacoby Myers might get traded, and then he'll have a little bit of a dip before he climbs back up. So we'll see what direction we go here. Looking at the bench, Luther Burden looks to be a solid pickup here. Luke McCaffrey put up some numbers, but that was without Terry McLaurin. Should be back this week. George Pickens, though, big name coming back in week 7. So looking up for Amanda, even though she caught the L here at 3-3 in 7th place. Over on the winner's circle, Joey putting up the 167, going 3-3. It's the 4th 3-3 team we've seen in 4 teams so far. Hanging out in 4th place. Wow, that's a 4 for 4. No Wendy's, baby. Great game here. I mean, they all finally kind of came together. I know he's had some pop games in the past, but it's been kind of lacking from what you would expect here. Goff puts up a pretty average game, but then, Ladd gets his game in with Keenan tracking down, Hampton being out. Quinshon Judkins was out. So, I mean, the Ladd had to do it between him and Aronde Gadsden. They both kind of held that team together there, even though they got the loss in Minnesota. Teteroa McMillan finally finds the end zone, and he does it twice, putting up 17. Great for him as a guy I love coming in. As we said before, Achane popped with 31. Community Vidal steps in. Overtakes Hassan Haskins here, where everybody thought he would be the lead dog. Vidal looked really good. I don't know. I'm hoping this staves off a little bit of a trade. That the rumors have come out with the Chargers since Vidal did pretty well. There's a lot of rumors about like Brees or it's not Kamara. There's a lot about Kamara to the Chiefs and a lot about Brees to the Chargers, but I can't think of the other guy's name. I apologize. I'll throw it in the chat here. But a lot of talk about Brees or the other coming to the Chargers here. Would love to have that not happen as a Hampton owner, but we'll see. Warren's still the draft man. I think he's tied in 2, tied in 1 after this week, putting up 18.3. Phenomenal player. Travis Hunter continues to disappoint. Just 4 for 15 in a game where you kind of expected him to need to be leaned on a little bit with Brenton Strange being out, but just not there. Very odd usage. A lot less. I mean, they talked about 80% of offensive snaps coming into the year. And then we've seen him at like 47 on offense, 40 on defense, or 50. I mean, I don't know if he's actually hit 80% at one point this season. And it's tough, too, because if they were losing games, if they were 2-4 as opposed to 4-2, you could see them maybe wanting to make a change to put Hunter on the field on offense more. But because they're winning, I mean, it's hard for them to want to, I would imagine, fuck up the feng shui and kind of change what they're doing unless they're in a skid. I mean, I'm hoping Hunter can get it on track here. I know Joey is as well, but man, that just rough to see. I don't know if Hunter sees the starting lineup on this team again the rest of the year, to be honest with you. With some of the guys he has coming off his bench here, with Collins and Rice coming back, Ricky Pearsall on the bench. So maybe this is someone you can go get if you believe in Travis Hunter. I believe in Travis Hunter, but Joe and I just haven't seen eye to eye on a trade here yet. Matthew Golden, solid game against Cincinnati. Loved what he did there on minimal targets, but he's supposed to be the alpha on this team, so to see him kind of step up a little bit, kind of take control, cement his place at the 1 or at least the 2 in pecking order is great to see here, even though Tucker Kraft, I think, is the 1, to be honest, because all the wide receivers are such a coin flip. Tucker Kraft, to me, would be the one that I want out of all the pass catchers on that team, and then I guess I would go like Golden and Dobbs after that. And then Kendrick Bourne, man, back-to-back crazy weeks here. This is one great story, great production, great everything here. Obviously he's eventually going to have to tail off a little bit. I wonder if he's a wide receiver trade target and could be a sneaky pickup for, like, everyone's talking about the Steelers going to go out. I mean, what if they don't make a splash and they go get, like, Boutte? Because they got Ayuk and Pearsall and Kittle and all these guys coming back. I mean, I know with the injury concern, San Francisco probably wants to hold on to him, but, eventually he's going to be buried in that depth chart, and why not get something for him after popping a couple times? Anyway, solid here. Only going to get better from here for Joe if this team could continue to this kind of pace, or at least, if this core that he's got here can put up 120, and then add in Nico Collins and Rashee Rice on top of that. I mean, looking a little scary hours here for the MC squared. Going on to game 3 here, we have Sam at 6-1, continuing, 6th place. Wow, what the fuck am I saying? Maybe I'm just seeing into the future, Sam. We got Sam at 6-0 in first place. The Carolina Reapers taking down Mike's Waddling Woody, 139-97. Not a lot to talk about here. I mean, the guys I should expect to pop. I guess there's some disappointment on the surprise side. Like Quinshon Judkins only getting 3.6. The Diggs putting up 5.8. It's not really a surprise to me. He's been one that's been hot and cold all season, kind of rotating off that wide receiver 1 for Drake May. And I mean, it's exactly like Green Bay with the Patriots. I mean, you pick your Patriots receiver, he's going to give you 5 or he's going to give you 20. And that's because Drake May has just been a boss. Wandale Robinson, great game. Malik Neighbors out. Jackson Dart seems pretty good. To be honest, I like him a lot. Jonathan Taylor, 23 points here. Continues to be top 3 running back. Bijan Robinson, RB1. Arguably top player in the league at the moment with Puka Nacua going down, depending on how that plays out here. But with his injury, obviously you got to move him down the board, and we'll kind of go over that up here in just a second. And then very disappointing from JCM here. Prime time after popping last week. He got a lot of the workload. Then you kind of expect him to come in here and dominate, and he gets, goes for 61 and a fumble. I mean, really, really bad. I feel like his time to step up and become the man in that backfield. Especially with Jane Daniels coming back too. I mean, I wonder if Jane Daniels being back kind of hurt it a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine he's stealing that much rushing upside from him. Then on the other side, Jalen Waddle puts up a solid 15. DK Metcalf with a really good game with damn near 20. Cam Scatabo popped on Thursday night in a fun game against Philly with 31 points, 3 rushing touchdowns. Dude's just running through brick walls. And then similar to Amanda's team, really nothing more to speak of after that when you're kind of looking down the list here. Just like 1, 6, 5, 4, 4 from some of these guys. I mean, it's going to be a rocky road for Mike. He about hit what he was projected. You got to see Sam about hit what he projected here. But again, I mean, Mike's another one of those teams that's been hurt with some injuries, some issues here. Currently sitting in 11th at 2-4. I think 12th place is locked up personally with a specific team in the league. So I don't think you can finish any worse than 11. But yeah, man, it's a crazy game here. I was hoping Mike would take him down this week just with all the positive matchups he had on his side. But Sam's team just continues to do his thing. First team all fuck, we'll go with Drake May, Wandale Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, DK Metcalf, Cam Scattaboo. Welcome to the gang bang buds. And then I didn't get first team all fucks out to the previous matchup. We'll go with Drake London, Keyshawn Boutte, Lad McConkey, Devon Achane, Kamini Vidal, and let's get Kendrick Bourne in there. Let's give Bourne Legacy a little bit to hang his hat on. Going down to the next game on the list, game number 4. We have Keith with the Gridiron Waffles going 2-4, catching the loss to Will, who's also 2-4 in 9th place, CN Lumbridge, 136 to 113. Solid game here from both boys. In a kind of a pseudo rivalry here with the cousin on the line. Looking at it, I mean, solid game from both sides. Obviously Keith disappointed here not meeting this projection. I mean, to be honest, this is just exactly flip-flopped here. You know, Will hit what Keith was supposed to, and Keith hit what Will was supposed to. But, you know, to start over on Will's side, I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba, incredible. I mean, he's got to be top 3 wide receiver rest of the season, if not top 2, depending on Puka or how Amon-Ra kind of phase in and out. Because his target percentage is what's keeping him so high. I mean, it's like, I think it was 52% in this game. And Puka and Amon-Ra are not seeing 52% of targets. I mean, he's just feasting. Jalen Hurts puts up 21. Alvin Kamara puts up 12 with the circling trade rumors here that he might be going to Kansas City. Dallas Goedert, resurrection on his career here. I mean, he's the number 1 receiving target in Philly right now, getting 26 points here on the game. And then, not a lot. Michael Carter fills in and gives you 8. I mean, that's okay, I guess. Kind of just cross your fingers for Trey Benson to come back. Zay Flowers, I think you hold your breath a little longer. I want to say I'm pretty confident that Lamar Jackson comes back right after the bye, and Zay Flowers will give you some ROI on your trade here. Over on Keith's side, you know, Josh Allen, another kind of down game here with 17. Brian Thomas pops for the first time with 23. Derrick Henry continues to be somewhat disappointing, but at least serviceable in this game. Sam Laporta, all right. I mean, I don't know. I'm still not in on Sam Laporta. I think maybe it was just getting burned last year, but, you know, solid game. You can't knock it. He's doing his thing. He's top 12 tight end in the league right now. And, you know, if this is a piece that continues to push his team along, then so be it. And then Zach Ertz, just similar to Dallas Goedert, for whatever reasons, found the fountain of youth this season. And Zach Ertz found it last season, too, with Jaden Daniels. He was really solid at the end of the year. So, good to see that for Zach Ertz, legendary tight end here. Golly. Just, what can you say, brother? I mean, this is pretty solid. Except for the donut last week. I mean, I would take that. It's better than what Bowers is putting up. Solid game here, boys. First team all fuck awards. We'll give, let's go BTJ, all right, off the rip. Letting him get first in. Zach Ertz, let's get the boy Zach Ertz in there with his 16.3. Got to get Jackson Smith and Jigba in there. I don't think this man's taking a week off from first team all fuck all season. Dallas Goedert with his 26. And we'll get Jalen Hurts in there with his 21, 283, and 283, 1-1. Moving on to game number 5 on the slate for last week. Jacob takes down Kate, moving up to 2-4 in 8th place, while Kate drops to 4-2, but continues to lock in that 3rd position right behind Sam and Zach. 118 to 94 is the final score here in a game that should have been a little closer in my opinion, but is what it is. Looking at the side here, I mean, Sam Darnold was duking it out with the Jags in that Duval game there with 20 points. And then other than that, I mean, Josh Jacobs puts up 32, and then the rest of the team really shit the sheets a little bit here. Not looking great. I mean, some of these guys are way under projection. This Cortland Sutton is a part of that awful New York Jets morning game that happened over the weekend. Saquon Barkley, who she traded for, definitely disappointed, but I think better days are ahead. I don't really know what's going on. The Philly offense looks a little lost. They remind me of Houston in the first like four weeks of the season, where Houston looked like they were just playing pee-wee football and they had no rhyme or reason as to why they did anything. Almost like no game plan, no game script. They were going out there and just drawing plays on a football and hoping shit worked. Philly kind of feels like that right now. They're in this tug of war with their receivers wanting more work, but they're winning games when they're leaning on Barkley and Hurts to run the ball. Dallas Goedert's all of a sudden become a thing. They just don't. They're not. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, but I think there's. I don't know if there's too many squeaky wheels or too much grease where they can't get any traction. And it's become a little difficult, it feels like, in Philly for them to kind of get clicking. To be honest, it's an inexcusable loss at, playing in New York. That's a bad team. I mean, that's inexcusable to lose to them. And then to get doubled up on losing 34-17. I mean, that's rough. I wonder if they come out this week and really lean on Barkley, go back to what was winning them games last year, what was winning them games at the beginning of the year, and then kind of go from there to pick it up a little bit. Over on the Jake side, winner's circle here, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, fantastic. I think he's the top 3 QBs right now as far as points scored, points per game and overall. Looking really solid. I mean, he's put the team on his back this year. I think a lot of what's changed is his rushing. He's leading the team in rushing, along with being the starting quarterback here. And he hasn't had to do that in the past. He's willing this team to victory with the weapons that they've had, lack thereof, or whatnot. But the rushing upside has really pushed his floor up higher than we've seen in the last couple of years, where he's finished way below where he was being drafted. And then this year he's living above that price. He's giving you that the second round, third round price tag that you were taking him in the past. I mean, 26, 23, 27, 27, 31 with one dud game in New York. He's right here. He ranked number 1. But, I mean, I don't know what his pass yards were last year. I wonder. I don't think Yahoo will let me see that for previous seasons in this tab here unless I'm blind. But, I mean, I don't remember what his rush yards were last season. But, I mean, you're having games of, that's 5.7 points. That's in a 4-point touchdown league. This is worth more than a touchdown. This is almost a touchdown in a skill position. 6.6 points here, 6 points here, 3.2 here. He's getting almost double. In 3 games, he's gotten almost 8 points, which would have been 2 more passing touchdowns just based on rushing here. And we're talking 57 and a rushing touchdown. This is 12 or 13 points. This right here is 13.6, or sorry, 12.6. This is 11.7. This should be 12 on the nose. This right here is 9.2 points in the rushing game. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns on top of his passing work. So, these are Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type numbers. He isn't giving you that 40-point game that either of those guys can give. But, I mean, this right here, you can't tell me that this is what we've been getting out of both those guys consistently the last couple of years, though. So, great pick there from Jacob on that front. A.J. Brown puts up 14. Cooper Kupp with his 12. Rashad White puts up 17.6 in place of Bucky Irving here. Jahmyr Gibbs with kind of a disappointing game against Kansas City. But to be honest, like everyone in Detroit, that was a real I mean, I felt like they got stifled early and then dazed and never were able to recover there. Travis Kelce puts up 14. DJ Moore puts up 8.2, but then heads to the hospital after the game. And apparently it's for a groin. I don't really know what's going on there. Darren Waller, touchdown machine. And that really saved his skin here. And I want to say that touchdown came fairly late. So, solid there. Not that it really would have made too much of an impact on the outcome. But it's always good to see. I mean, your guys put up some tutties. So, great game from Jake here. Kind of recapping. I know him and I were talking. Losing here would have really put him in a hole. I think at 2-4, you're still alive for sure. 1-5 though, and kind of reeling. At some point, the season gets away from you a little bit. But at 2-4, I think you're still kicking. You're one game back from. We just saw Joey 3-3 at 4th place. Kate here is only 2 games up in 3rd place, so definitely still alive. I mean, I think everybody's still alive except for 12th place team. It's just because with how rough everything is looking. But good things that have come for both these guys here. Looking at, CeeDee Lamb's coming back for Kate. Darius Slayton should be coming back and a little healthier. Not practicing on Wednesday. Missed week 6, but I'm excited to see him come back. Like they said, he's going to be in the flex as a wide receiver 5. In this week, or in this league, it's important for that depth. I think he'll be kind of a fun flex piece here. Lamar Jackson's coming back here in another week or so. So some upside for Kate's side. And over on Jake's side, Terry McLaurin, I believe, is going to be back this week. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's what they were saying. I'm practicing on Thursday is not great, but as long as they get in something on Friday, there should be fine. Pre-playing rest day. Questionable play week 7. Wide receiver 2 finished within his range, so you're going to top 24 wide receiver joining his squad up there. And then some interesting, Bucky Irving should be coming back here soon as well. He didn't get put on the IR, so he should be missing less than 4 games. It's a little odd running up to the bye week here. I would have assumed that he would have hit IR to get these 4 weeks off, get the bye, then come back. But, if they didn't put him on IR, they're expecting him to play before this bye. Somewhere in here. So, we'll see how that goes here, man. But all signs are pointing up for both these guys. Moving on to the last game of the slate. Kaysen just continues to to skyfall here. Puts up 123, but barely loses to Zach's team. 5-1. Zach goes into 2nd place. Kaysen drops to 1-5 and has a tight grip on 12th at the moment. Look at the team. he had him pop. DeAndre Swift had a crazy game. He had, I think, one of these. I think it was this reception. The 67-yard reception was the only catch he had, and it went for a touchdown. He had a long bomb tutty, I think it was in the 4th quarter of this game to really kind of put these scoring over the top here. But Dak looked really good. Calvin Ridley, just another one to add to the injury concerns here. Ashton Jeanty was solid. DeAndre Swift looked good. Trey McBride, pretty solid. 21, top 3 tight end there. Really, him and Jeanty and Swift are the only things keeping this guy afloat, along with Dak, I guess. Hollywood Brown puts up 20 and probably his last pop game of the season with Bryce coming back. And then over on Zach's side, just kind of doing what they do. Jaden Daniels, 22. George Pickens, 31. Just, golly, you think of a guy who's going to get a fat contract. Who knows if it's in Dallas or if it's somewhere else. But, George Pickens has absolutely handed himself a blank check to whatever team wants to pay him this next year. He's going to make a bag after what he's done here. James Cook, down game. And kind of an odd one against Atlanta. Nothing in Buffalo seemed to be working against that Atlanta defense. J.K. Dobbins, part of that awful Giants-Broncos game. overseas, so I don't really pay much attention to this. I think that's just kind of a wash from both those teams, schedules and points projections, except for Justin Fields. I don't think I would play him without Garrett Wilson. I'm on our St. Brown. Again, kind of stifled in that Kansas City game there with 13 points. Khalil Shakir in that terrible Buffalo game. And then Rico Dowdle put up 33, man. I mean, this has been 2 back-to-back solid weeks of 30-plus. Chuba Hubbard should be coming back this week. It'll be interesting to see how they split. But a lot of talks from, fantasy footballers, fantasy pros, Matt Harmon, BDGE, whoever you listen to, every single one of them, the Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard conversation has been on all their podcasts and all their minds on how that backfield's going to be split. Chuba's the guy that makes the money, but Rico Dowdle's been the one, what have you done for me lately? He's put up those points, but in the same argument, it's two pretty cupcake defenses there. And who's to say that Chuba Hubbard wouldn't have put up the same number of points? So I doubt that they go giving Chuba 80 to 90% of work. I think it does become sort of a split, like a 60-40 type deal here. But I don't think you can take Chuba fully off the field just based on a 2-game performance after giving him a bag like they did last year. Looking at first team all fucks in this one. Dak Prescott, why not? DeAndre Swift, probably last time this year, because I think that they do trade for a running back here in Chicago. I think it would be crazy to see Breece Hall here in Chicago, but we'll see what they do. I'm not quite sure what their cap situation is looking like here. Trey McBride, Hollywood Brown, Jaden Daniels, George Pickens, and Rico Dowdle. Welcome to the first team all fuck squad. Not sure I did it for this game here, so we'll go ahead and throw it in. Sam Darnold, get your ginger ass in here. Boy, we need one for the gangbang. Josh Jacobs with 32. Come on in, baby boy. Patrick Mahomes for sure. Bring your brother too. Why not? And then Rashad White. Let's get the boy in here because I'm a low-key Bucks fan for the boy. William Clark. But, that's kind of it for the season here. Kind of full slate of what we got going on. I wanted to take a peek at the standings real fast before this Thursday night game happens here. Here's kind of how everything's laying out. Really, it's close, man. When you're just kind of looking down the board here, no real big win streaks here. A lot of back and forths, 1-1, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then the streaks you really have here. Kaysen with the 4, and then Sam with his 6 to see kind of who dethrones him here going forward. One of the healthier teams left in the league here. Going into week 7, we got, I would expect everyone at this point to have their lineup set with it being Thursday. Iceman and CN Leverage go up against each other in somewhat of a close game here. 6-point diff in the favor of Will. In this game here, Carolina Reapers, man, this might be the one to watch. Show me your TDs, 127. Carolina Reapers, 127. I know projections don't mean shit, but this one is shaping up to be game of the week, first place versus 5th place. Really tight game here. This is one that I'll be paying attention to. Looks like Nakua Matatas and Jersey Drake are playing this week, with Nakua having a little bit of an upper hand with 120 to 106, even without Puka Nakua. We have the Waddling Woodies taking on Grand Waffles, the Prophet, in a 10-11 game here. 7-point favorite. It's Mike's way, but we'll see how the Waffles respond. Newport Beach Bombs in 3rd place. Looking to take on worst team in the league, Senior Bud Light. This should be fairly easy. I mean, I don't think Calvin really plays, so that's going to be a knock there. Juwan Jennings, limited. He's playing with 5 broken ribs, a high and low ankle sprains, adding a shoulder injury. I mean, I don't know how you let him play with 5 broken ribs, a high and low ankle sprain, and a shoulder injury. I don't think he plays this week. I mean, you're going to kill this fucking guy. And Kendrick Bourne's looked okay. It's against Atlanta. This is a night game. This could very well, I mean, if he doesn't have a backup option for Sunday night or Monday, just kind of giving you the scoop here. He's got no Sunday night and no Monday flexible players. So if he doesn't make a move for a Sunday night flexible player or whatnot, I mean, you're looking at this potentially just being in and out. So you're looking at 22 points coming off the board potentially for Kaysen for very little on the bench here, replacing it with a 5-4-4, 7, potentially a 9 if Chuba plays. So I don't think Mooney's playing. He didn't play last week. He was limited, but now it's his injury hamstring week 4. Yeah. So I think this is only going to look worse on the senior Bud Light side. So Cade should have a pretty solid victory here. And then last game of the week, MC Squared takes on Jake's period squad. I guess what we'll call them with this team name here. 126 to 119. This will be interesting to see here. Would like to see either of these teams win. Obviously root for the underdog here, 2-4. Watching them go to 3-4. Dropping Joe to 3-4, bringing that tie a little close with the 4th, 8th place team. But yeah, man, solid week in week 6. Week 7 looks fun. This is the last thing I want to get to here, just the trade chart for the week. Just make sure you're looking at PPR. Week 7, full point PPR, 4-point passing touchdown. This is exactly what our league scores. The rosters are the same, except you're adding flex here at the end. So some of these guys at the bottom are worth a little more than the pennies that they have here, because these guys here probably wouldn't be rostered in a regular league at the bottom in these bottom 2 tiers here. So just some big risers here. CeeDee Lamb goes up 19 points now that he's fully healthy, jumping back up here. I mean, this is why you want to go buy guys when they're injured if you're a good team. You could have bought him down in this range with whatever guys were falling in this range last week. You could have gotten CeeDee Lamb for while he was hurt. And then a week later, now you're paying, almost a third more than you would have here when he's at 61 as opposed to like 42. Rashee Rice is another one with a big bump now that he's can be active as far as this week goes. If you watch these charts every single week, it's like +4, +4, +4, +4, +4 for Rashee Rice as he got closer to coming back. Now that he's back, probably the lowest price will be, even though he's going to return this week at 43, I expect him to probably be right up here with these guys by the end of this week. Some more wide receiver risers. George Pickens continues to rise. I think you see that kind of as CeeDee Lamb comes back. It takes a lot of that cornerback 1 pressure off of him. Puts on a CeeDee Lamb, lets him open it up a little bit as a wide receiver 2. Garrett Wilson drops 9 here with his injury designation. Roma Dunze drops 14.5 down into this range. I mean, last week he was right behind Drake London. Now all of a sudden he's dropped down to this area here. Emeka Ibuka also drops with his hamstring injury. Teteroy McMillan skyrockets after his touchdown performances here. Goes up 23.5 points. Did see himself kind of down here in the Jameson Williams area. T. Higgins, because he was averaging like 8 to 10 points a game. But now that he's found the end zone, the rest of the season looks to be opening up a little bit. Some movers and shakers here in the middle. Nothing too crazy. Matthew Golden moves up 6 from kind of being irrelevant to being possibly a high-end flex option for a team. Josh Downs is the same thing with 6.5 moving up. Chris Godwin goes down 6.5 as far as value goes. Looking at the running backs here, Rachaad White looked really good in that matchup. The only thing is his time is very limited. This might be the last week that you get production out of him, and then he should go right back down. You had to see it twice to believe it, but Rico Dowdle moves up from being a 3 to 14.5. I think this is solid. Still have him right here with Chuba Hubbard, and with them splitting, pick your poison in this regard. As you move up the ranks a little bit here, JCM gets a bump even with a bad game. I think better days are still to come, but it was really disappointing to see that. Kenneth Walker moving down and Kamara moving down, I think, are both solid. Like what I'm seeing so far. Hampton last week went down 22, but like we were saying with like Pickens or with CeeDee Lamb coming back from his injury, you see the big drop initially when they get hurt because there's a lot of uncertainty, this, that, and the third, and then every week, if you watch this, as we get closer and closer and closer to them coming back off IR, they continue to climb. So there is a middle ground. If you wanted to trade for an injured player, we'll just use Hampton for example, just because I know a little more about him since he's my player. You can get him at the cheapest when they're initially hurt. But that's when there's the most uncertainty. Every week you wait after that, it gets a little more expensive, but it's less time that you're sitting a guy on your bench and less time that, more time you're giving me to score points if you trade. So it tends to be the perfect time, in my opinion, to trade for a player to come back is like within 2 weeks of when they return. So not this week, but next week. Yes, is he going to jump to like maybe 31, 32 right in this range? Probably. But the value is not really changing that much for him, and you're getting 1 week less of getting nothing from him as opposed to letting me just eat the zero. So just something to watch for there on Hampton. Scatterboo jumps up 10.5. I think this could have gone even a little higher. I think I'd rather have Scatterboo over Javonte Williams. Isn't it crazy to Scatterboo over Henry, Scatterboo over Judkins, Scatterboo over Breeze? Who the fuck would have thought? I mean, that guy was a beast in college. We were all rooting for him in the playoffs, but golly, what the fuck is going on? Breece Hall or Bucky Irving, very similar to the Hampton situation. As he's getting healthier, he's climbing back up the ranks to where he would be if he was fully healthy. Saquon Barkley drops 7 after another rough game. James Cook drops 4.5 after a rough game. As you see, like Jacobs and Ginty move up here to bring this gap a little closer between these four. Devon Achane moves up. I think that was deservedly so. Above Josh Jacobs, as Jahmyr Gibbs kind of falls. I don't know if this is as close as I would like it to be. I mean, I think I'd still prefer Gibbs over Achane by a little, like quite a bit. But we'll see. Top 3 running backs here we see with Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. And then kind of looking at the other side, I mean, look, he's number 1 on the wide receivers, bud. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Number 1 receiver in the league, brother. Somebody I was champion here. Nakua moves down. Amon-Ra moves down after kind of rough performance and injury. And then really tight ends and quarterbacks are a little odd. With them being singleton positions, they're not worth as much in the league without it being a tight end premium. Without this being super flex. Jalen Hurts dropping down 18 was kind of surprising to me. Tyler Warren continues to move up here. I mean, if you're looking, Tyler Warren's number 2. It's Trey McBride, Tyler Warren as far as value goes, and now Kittle now that he's healthy. So we'll see. It looks like Brock Bowers going to miss a couple more weeks. I expect him to maybe start to trend up after this week since they're going into a bye. Tucker Kraft moves, is that down 10? That's a little surprising to me. I feel like I don't agree with Tucker Kraft's here. I wonder if that's a typo. I don't know how you move down 10 after the game he had and what Green Bay's been doing, but all in all, solid week. I encourage you guys to look at the value chart when you're trading. Maybe get some more trades going here. I think our trade deadline is in November. But solid performance, guys. Really appreciate you for tuning in, listening to the podcast, giving it a go. This is your boy Zerk signing off. Love y'all. Thank you for everything.